The only time I notice that he's older than me, the only time I notice that there's an age gap, is that when we go on a night out, he'll draw cash out from the machine. Hey, I'm shagging me granddad.
Life is a bit like frazzled at the moment because I've recently gone through like a huge breakup, which has just been like so difficult for him. And it's like one of those weird situations, right, where I feel like we'd been together for a really long time and then we weren't. And I didn't really know who I was when I was single again. So I've been on this really long path of self-discovery and I've been learning loads of things about myself. One of the things I learned recently about myself is that I'm actually colorblind. Nobody cares. That's fine. I'll remember it though. And yeah, I'm colorblind. I was kind of amazed, like, not to know that. But the kind of colorblind I am is that in certain lights, I can't see red flags. So that's just like me. That's my kind of situation. Or I can see them, but I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Like that's my vibe. I think for me, the issue is like a red flag on a boy who's fit. It's kind of like a 1-star hygiene rating. Like outside a delicious kebab shop, you know? It's the same thing. Like in both cases, I know it's a terrible idea to put it inside me. Like I know that, do you know what I mean? I'm aware, but if I've had a bottle of wine, it's too late. You know what I mean? That's kind of the situation that I'm in. I've been dating a lot. I find it's like really difficult when you first get out of a long-time relationship and you start dating again because you're kind of not used to the scene and there are lots of things that you forget how to do, like keeping up appearances and like wearing nice underwear and upkeeping an entirely different personality. It's difficult. And I find that like I never really had to do that in my previous relationship because, you know, it was very long-term and very loving. And so I always knew that like regardless of like what underwear I was wearing, we were not going to have sex anyway.
I was on Facebook the other day, noticed that my ex-girlfriend is still trying to get my attention by settling down and having kids with another man. Get over me! Jesus. Back off. But yeah, married now. I quite like being married, but she gets quite angry with me, my wife, about a lot of things really. But she woke up recently and she was angry with me because of what I did in her dream. You know that? I said to her, what did I do? She said, oh, as if you don't know. And I said, no, seriously, what did I do? And she said, you started getting off with my sister. So I went, go on. And then I said, no, that is mental. And she went, I know, you'd never do that. And I said, no, it's mental. We had the same dream. What? She's angry with me after that, obviously. So I tried to make it up to her. I suggested our first ever couples trip to IKEA. That was a mistake. It's an odd shopping experience, IKEA, because you go for a wardrobe, but you leave with a drawer divider, a garlic crusher, 2,000 tea lights, a rug, a jug, a divorce, and some meatballs. And it's just full of couples arguing in there. And I didn't know why before I went. Now I know why. Because what happens is you go in and you're walking around and you're discussing stuff as you're looking at things. And as you're discussing stuff, you're slowly realising that you and this person that you've chosen to share your entire life with have nothing in common, you know? It might turn out, for example, it might be the big stuff. It might turn out that you don't really like the cushions with the little pom-poms on the corners. And it might turn out that she doesn't really like your family. Sort of thing that comes out. You're not quite sure about orange for the bedroom. She hates the way you breathe.
I did just go through a breakup recently. Thank you for your support. Well, like, okay, he wasn't technically my boyfriend, okay? But he felt like he was my boyfriend. And it's hard because I'm part Latina, okay? So I'm naturally very possessive. But I'm also part British, so I do have that tendency to claim things that were never really mine in the first place. Really tense. Sorry. Nice. Thank you. But I think the hardest thing about going through a breakup in the UK is that I had to get British advice, okay? And I'll be honest with you guys, is just a bit too non-confrontational for me. Okay, like I said, I'm Latina, okay? Advice when I went through a breakup at home, it was practical. Advice when I went through a breakup at home, it was like, we're gonna get the machete. We're gonna go through his house, we're gonna slash all of his tires, and then we're gonna wait in the window, and it's like, whoa, grandma, chill out, okay? It's not that serious. But I have a friend out here, and her advice, she was like, Katie, all you have to do, okay, all you have to do is write him a letter, okay? And remember, the letter's for you, not for him, okay? And you're gonna write all your feelings in the letter, okay? Everything you wanna say to him, and then you're gonna fold it up and just put it in the bin. I was like, that's horrible advice. And she was like, I'm so sorry, put it in the recycling.
I started seeing a tiny little lesbian. Now, when I say seeing, I mean dating, not like hallucinating. She is real, I have checked. She's not a ghost. But if I did have to describe her as a ghost, I'd describe her as a reverse poltergeist, because everywhere I go in my flat, she's doing DIY. She's got her own toolbox, and that's not a euphemism. It's great. It's great. But when I started going out with her, what I found myself... So I've known for a really long time that I'm bisexual, but I'm also very lazy, so I never bothered telling anyone. I was like, I'll just wear Doc Martens every day and they'll get the hint. But they didn't, and what I've now found myself doing is like drive-by coming outs, just to explain who this person is. Because I can't just walk everywhere with a tiny little lesbian behind me and be like, don't look at her. Don't look at her, she doesn't like it. So recently I had to come out to my nan. Now, my nan is great. She's 87 years old. She's very liberal as well. She's got like a new hip and a criminal record. She's cool. But I was still nervous about coming out to her. I was like, she's still an 87-year-old woman from the valleys. I don't know how she's going to react. And it was fine. I came out to her and it was all fine. The only thing she said was that she was a bit worried that without a man in the picture, I would have no one to look after me. If you were ever looking for someone to look after you, would it be a man? No one's going to provide for you better than a lesbian with toxic masculinity. It's all fine now, though, because my nan's met my girlfriend, and what happened was, it was a really lovely sunny day. It was in the middle of summer, and my nan was looking out at her garden, and it was so sunny, and she was like, oh, I need my lawn mowed, but none of my lovely grandsons are here to do it for me. And my girlfriend's eyes lit up. And she piped up out of nowhere, oh, I can mow your lawn for you, Sheila. And my nan looked at her as though she had 3 heads. My nan was so confused. And what that means is I got the privilege of watching my 87-year-old nan watching a tiny little lesbian mow her lawn. And it was the best thing I've ever seen before in my life. It was like, you know those videos where orangutans see close-up magic for the first time? I didn't know they could do that. They can. Long story short, she's in the market of one of her own, if anyone's interested. When people find out I'm queer, I get a bit of a weird reaction sometimes. They'll often go, oh, you're Indian, what do your Indian family think about you being queer? And that's a weird question for me, because I have to answer it and be like, well, the reality is they're fine with it, because they don't know.
His name's Rich, and he's 37, and he's a lawyer, which is very smart on my part. And at the start of the pandemic, it brought us closer together because we had to have time to spend with each other. So we developed little pet names for each other. Like, he started calling me his little monkeykins, and I started calling him my furlough. And... But the thing, I often remember the grass isn't always greener. Because, you know, you go out, you think, he's fit, like, that's a nice little bit to gobble. And... But I have to remember the grass isn't always greener because, like, for example, before I went out my Rich, I did a degree in French, and as part of the course, I had to go and live in France for a year, and I thought it was going to be like a Hilary Duff film. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd move over, I'd work at a boulangerie, and then I'd fall in love, and this Frenchman would invite me in to live in his chateau, and I'd never have to perform at the Pleasance in Islington ever again. But that didn't quite happen. But me and my friends, while we're all over there, we all did have a bit of a romance while we were away. Like my friend Kate, she got with this guy called Florent, and they were together for a whole year. Now they're married, living in Nice, living my dream, bitch. Then there's my friend Sam. She got with a guy for a semester, and his name was Nicolas. Nicolas. Fit, right? And I got with a guy as well while we're there, and his name was Kevin. It wasn't even Kevin, it was bloody Kevin. I went all the way to France and found the only guy from Stockport.
I've actually become single quite recently, and it's a weird age to start dating in your mid-30s, right? Because I haven't done the dating dance in a while. I don't know the etiquette anymore. I don't really have a lot of confidence. I don't think I'm a good-looking guy. Yeah, don't fight me on it. But I don't think I'm like a bad-looking guy either. I feel like I'm a 6 out of 10, which is like a 7 out of 10 post-Black Lives Matter movement, right? And everything's online these days, right? Like, so I have to like learn all of these apps. I'm learning all of them. There's Hinge, there's Bumble, there's even a kink dating app now. Like, do you know this? You know, borrow my doggy? No? Okay. No, it's called Field. Do we all know what Field is? Yeah. Okay, so for those who don't know Field, or those pretending to not know, I'll explain. You know, actually calling it a kink dating app is doing injustice to it, right? Field is an app for dating people who don't follow the social conventions of what a relationship should be like, right? Almost an anarchist's point of view. Or it's an app for dating people who want to express a sense of sexual freedom and liberation in the form of normalizing kinks, fetishes, making it more acceptable to talk about in society, right? Basically an app for dating people who are absolutely beyond saving, right?
Yeah, gay, proper going for it as well, got a boyfriend and everything. Yeah, he's a bit older than me. I'm 30, he's 37. Not a big age gap, not a big age gap at all. The only time I notice that he's older than me, the only time I notice that there's an age gap is that when we go on a night out, he'll draw cash out from the machine. Hey, I'm shagging me granddad. That is gross, that is disgusting.
I found my person. Yay, thank you. And I don't want to get soppy, but I'll tell you the exact moment I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. Right, so we was in his flat. He turns to me out of nowhere and he says the most poetic thing I've ever heard come out of a human's mouth, right? In a sentence, he captured everything I wanted in my life. He said this, right? He just looked at me and he went, why is it we don't put butter on chips? Mind blown, why don't we? We know potato and butter goes so well. This boy has seen through the matrix. He's a keeper, he's the one. And I know when I'm really in love and feel really stable in a relationship, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but as soon as I'm really comfy in it and feeling really in love, I start playing a game, and the game is called Would You Still Love Me If? Does anyone play it? Mm-hmm. Yes, good. If you don't play, it's really simple. So you just turn to the person you love and you submit them to psychological testing. Oh, but in a cute way. And you can say anything, because there's only one right answer. So you say anything like, would you still love me if my mouth was a bumhole? And they have to go, yes. And they go, oh, brilliant, kiss. It's great. And one day, we were sat doing our favourite thing in the entire world, which just happens to be watching ITV's The Chase. Have you seen The Chase? Yes, we love The Chase. We've got a favourite chaser, the Beast. Yeah, Mark Lebet the Beast, right? We love Mark Lebet the Beast. When he comes on, we've got a chant. Mark Lebet gets you wet. We love Mark Lebet the Beast, right? So we sat in his flat, watching Mark Lebet the Beast. We had a big bowl of buttery chips. Life was good. So I turned to him, feeling very, very in love, and I say, babe, would you still love me if I had Mark Lebet the Beast from The Chase's hair? I was very confident, sat back, waited for my delicious yes. And he went, no. He doesn't know how to play the game. Silly, let me explain. I was like, no, sorry, you don't get it. So basically, it's all me. Everything's exactly the same. It's all me. All me who you love, everything's exactly the same. The only difference, the only tiny little difference, is I've got Mark Lebet, the beast from the Chase's hair. And he went, oh, no. Do you just want to, let's just pause the chase a sec. Yeah. No, I know it's a game. I am having fun. I am having fun. I'm not taking it seriously. No, it's just interesting to me. It's just, no, I'm just saying it's interesting. Can you just put the chips down? It's just interesting to me that you wouldn't love me if I had short, black, spiky gelled hair. No, I just find that, no, I'm not taking it seriously. I am having fun. I know it's a game. I'm just saying, it's weird, isn't it, that you wouldn't love me if I had short, black, spiky gelled hair. And he said, Amy, you've got this wrong. Of course I would love you if you had short, black, spiky gelled hair. But that's not what you're asking me. You're asking me if I would love someone who went into a hairdresser's and specifically asked for Mark Lebet, the beast from the Chase's hair. And I wouldn't. And I said, well, that is fair enough, yeah. That is fair enough, you know. And then I broke up with him because you've got to make a choice when it comes to Mark Lebet. Does he get you wet? Does he not pick a lane? I will say, this won't make the edit, but I found out but last week that, did you know Mark Lebet, the beast from the Chase, has married his own cousin? Did anyone know that? I think that's absolutely fascinating. Imagine having such an incredible grasp of general knowledge. And no idea of your own family tree. Fantastic.
I was once on a date with this lad, and if you're sat there being like, oh, I thought she was gay, congratulations, you figured out in about 2 minutes what took me 24 years. But I'm on a date with this lad, right? And I suddenly realise I haven't said a word for 40 minutes. But he is having the best time. He's telling me all about his screenplay. Is he the thinly veiled main character? Of course he is. Is it 80,000 pages long? Of course it is. But suddenly I see the realisation dawn over his face, right? This does happen with loud people sometimes, where they realise that they've overspoke. So what he did to try and get me back into the conversation was he gave me a compliment, right? But the compliment that this young man gave me on our first date to this very bored, obviously gay woman was that I was unconventionally attractive. Unconventionally attractive? I didn't know what to do with that at all. So when I went home alone, afterwards, trying to make myself feel better about being called unconventionally attractive, I Googled it. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. It didn't make me feel any better when I Googled unconventionally attractive and all that came up was a picture of Ian Beale. It's not the look I'm after, you know. Because I mainly date women and non-binary people now, right? And they go for the classics, you know. You look nice. Your face is okay. I don't know why lads feel the need to do a remix, right? I was thinking about the last compliment that I had from a lad. He said I was striking. That's Steve Buscemi, innit? That's not...